Well, hello everybody. Your girl Allegra
Um,
here. I'm here with Dr. Iyanu. We're just so super excited. As the kids used to say, I'm stoked, just ready to go for the
I
summer.
am pumped.
We're happy. We're excited. It's a new year, and you just get
Yes.
the joy of the Lord on top of that. And
Oh,
we're expecting just great doors to be open and exciting new things. And so I wanted Dr. Iyanu to come on and just meet you, greet you, so you can get that warm and fuzzy about him and understand who he is and why he's coming. So, Dr. Iyanu, thank you for taking time to come this morning.
thank you, Allegra, for having me. I'm really, really excited about the event, man. I can't wait to be there. It's a really, really critical time, in history. I think this is going to be the other sort of like the .NET boom,
Ah.
stuff, and the AI is really changing the way we think about everything. And so really, really excited to share. One of my biggest passions is getting people aware of kind of where this is going, and how they could get ahead of it and position themselves for success. So really excited
Mhm.
about it.
So, Dr. Iyanu, help some of our viewers get a little bit of information about you, right? So,
Yeah.
you're a TEDx speaker. Tell us how you got into this. I mean, we calling you Dr. Iyanu not because sometimes the saints just call everybody doctor, right? No, 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 no. You
Yeah,
first,
so
tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have a PhD in artificial intelligence and machine learning. A lot of my work has been focused on network analysis, but then I did a lot of deep learning, reinforcement learning, and some might wonder what does all of that mean? It's basically just sifting through a lot of data, helping to make sense of these data sets so that we can actually make meaningful decisions, business decisions. It might be decisions on, what ad to place, on your social media. It might be decisions on which kind of pictures get more engagement on your platform. So essentially the idea is we gather data, we learn from the data that has worked in the past, meaningful data, and then we use that to make informed and meaningful decisions. And I do this I have a company, AI/ML consulting company, and this is what we do for our customers. This is basically our bread and butter. We are good at helping businesses use AI to 10x their growth and 10x their profits. So yeah.
Mhm. Everybody likes to hear 10x. We all like to hear that. But, here's a couple of quick questions for you. Why do you think it's crucial now at this point that business owners start to get an understanding of what AI is? Because right now we're just thinking that it's some tool you use on Facebook to change your face and makeup. You know what I mean?
Right.
Folks are not understanding. And I sat in on one of your noon class, your lunch classes, and I was just blown away. I just sat there like for 60 minutes going, what is going on in the world? So can you help us understand why now it's important?
So very, very great question. I think in the past, what you would typically see is you typically see companies, have to pay, I guess 20 or 10 to 50 employees to work on one specific aspect, of their business. Why? Because you basically don't have as much data to make enough decisions on what to do, how to do it. So you have people, going out doing your customer discovery, just trying to learn about how things work and things of that nature. You have people spending a lot of time, sort of crafting out that message, creating that copy. It's just a whole bunch of work. What AI is really, really helping us to be able to do is to be able to learn from already existing data sets. So essentially what that means is, we take data sets from the past, and we do what we call train them. Essentially what that means is you're running a mathematical algorithm on those data sets to better understand, like, oh, okay, are we seeing any patterns? Let's say you visited your Kroger, store, right? And you wanted to identify which products people bought the most, you know, or
Mm-hmm.
or which two products do people buy at the same time, or which product should I put, at the front line of my store?
Mhm.
Many times when you have to sort of sift through Excel sheets or sift through all this, just a whole bunch of data sets to be able to identify it, right? Or let's say, for example, you even were introducing a new product to your store. How do you
Mhm.
know where to place them? Right? So these kinds of decisions require not just someone second guessing or someone just
Yes.
guessing out of their heads, like, okay, this is kind of what we should do. Imagine having the data set that shows, what people are buying, your consumer behavior and things of that nature. You
Mhm. Mhm.
that, and then you can use that to identify, what products would people buy the most? What products would people be interested in the most? How do I project how much it's going to cost, on sales for these products in the year 2025?
Mhm. Mhm.
We can
Mhm.
easily do that now without having X number of employees working on that, which creates a fantastic opportunity for small businesses. So a small business can now take all of these data sets learned, not just
Mhm.
their own internal data collection process,
Mhm.
but also from the internet, and use
Yes.
that information to make meaningful decisions about their business, about where to focus on, about where the most traction is, so it reduces and cuts down the waste and allows you to really, really focus on what's really, really critical and important. And I think that's really the reason why every small business should get into using AI to learn more about their industry and how to position themselves to be successful in the next coming years.
Okay, so it's not just for making photos and for doing cute pictures and stuff like that. So, Dr. Iyanu, let me just throw this in real quick. Um, Normally, and I would say historically, that's really what the word I want to use, people of color and women business owners, we're usually the last to the table when it comes to these kinds of
Yep.
things.
Yep.
What would you say to, like I just said, people of color who are out there saying, oh, AI, I could use it for gaming or whatever, uh, so that we don't get left behind. This is one of the reasons why we're doing the summit. It's not to push other people away. It's to say, hey, wake up to our brothers and sisters in the business area and say, you've got to get on board now. You've got to have a benchmark now. You've got to get involved now. Get in the flow, literally in the flow before it's 5 or 10 years down the road.
No, when COVID started, I used to be one of the biggest advocates for Zoom. I wouldn't even call it Zoom meetings because now Zoom has been replaced with remote meetings, right? What
Yeah.
Zoom has been replaced with remote meetings. But
Mhm.
I used to be a big advocate of remote meetings, and stuff, and just the fact that we needed to shift, as even as the body of Christ, to
Mhm.
accommodating, opportunities to serve people outside of our own circle,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? When I say outside of our own circle, I'm based in Ohio, you know,
Mhm.
and I could easily meet people in Ohio because I'm in Ohio. But then Zoom created an opportunity to meet people in California, via video, like we're doing now,
Yes.
in
Yeah.
South
Yep.
Africa, right? And so the idea here is that, like, we get really, really left out because we think it's always like sort of difficult, it's complex to understand,
Yes.
it's just, huge. Part of why, I exist, and part of why, we exist, and part of the reason why we're even hosting this event, we have various people from various business, backgrounds coming in. But
Mhm.
why we're doing this is to be able to make it easy. I always
Yes.
say, make it simple, make it just very, very simple so that
Mhm.
you can jump on it. You don't necessarily need to have any math, but I know I mentioned reinforcement learning and all those big,
Yes.
big words.
Big words. SAT words.
You don't need all of that to be able to use this.
Mhm.
That's just the beauty of it, right? There's lots of wrappers, when I say wrappers, like around code that you could use. There's ways
Mhm.
of interacting with data sets, and stuff like that. There's ways that we could also support you're getting up to speed,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
getting into the game quickly. Why? Because you do not want to be left behind. This has come to stay. And why has it come to stay? I would explain why it has come to stay. You know, 10 years ago, I used to write code for my master's or my master's program, and all of that code got posted on GitHub, right? And
Ah. Mhm.
codes, they're open source, so everybody can see it, they can use
Yeah.
them, they can improve on it, and things of that
Mhm.
nature.